Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are live 8 o'clock ish. Apparently 8:04 this time. It was 8:03 last time. So we are back. And coming up here in just a couple minutes, we are going to be premiering our latest sponsor spot for Radio. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys think of that. So stay tuned for that. So tonight we are going to be talking healing frequencies. Especially with everything going on, a lot of people are stressed out. I mean, especially with the phone thing, that was a lot of people that were stressed out. Like I told people driving around, I'm like, no zombies, no government takeover. I go, everybody's fine. I didn't see anybody drop dead, so we made it. So in the stressful times, stuff like the healing frequencies are really could come in handy. And Dr. Pat Cuntrera, he is not only ordained minister, he is also as the thing doctor. So that that's, you got to make sure, like I said, make sure Dr. Pat Cuntrera, I got to make sure you didn't do all that work for nothing. He's a healing doctor. He's worked in a variety of naturopathic meds, procedures, sound frequency, resonance, and vibration. And he was brought to our attention by Brian. And really looking forward to introducing him to everybody, along with getting to ask him some questions about this. So let's get to it. Stay tuned after the intro. We're going to be premiering that new spot, so we'll see you after that. Welcome to the Three Beards podcast. My name is Craig, along with Austin and Chris.
Passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century.
Let me out.
I'm afraid that is white. Justice and honor in Massachusetts colony?
All right, see, there it is. Here is Chris and Brian.
Hello, everybody.
So, Earth Radio. Now I don't have to sit here and fumble with my sticker. I can still have it here, but so yeah. So what everybody think?
I thought it was great. I thought it was great. Well, the big boy in there, Ron, he's gonna have to tell you. He said awesome.
You said awesome. So that's the part I actually liked, and that was not planned. He was a little late in the delivery, so he threw in the alien one for free. I have one without, and I have one alien. And I thought the fact that was cool is that there was 3 aliens.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. So that was an unintended, thing. And I was like, that was pretty cool. I thought that was 3. So that was, yeah.
You put beards on them?
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't gonna press my luck. Yeah. So I was like, hey, free is free. I'll take it. So I'll
take free. I like free.
So Chris is finally back from his self-imposed purgatory.
My cell phone got seasick. That's what happened. It blacked out while I was looking at pictures during dinner. Got seasick. So
translate that into, he was clicking on unimproved sites and he ended up getting locked out. And then by the time he got back into it, he checked his password too many times. And then all of a sudden Apple said, nope.
Not today, bitch.
And so he was out for quite a while. I mean, what was it, 10 days?
It started out at 10, then it went to like 20 because I didn't come back till the 27th, and now it's the first. So yeah, I've been out of phone for a while.
How'd you live without your phone? I mean, most people can't do it.
I realized how bad of a drug it was. I was snapping on everybody in the crib. My wife was like, "I'm sorry, I can't help you. It's your phone." I mean, I was snapping on everybody. Literally, I was going. My mind was withdrawing from the drug. I had nothing to look at. I was so frustrated every night. I just wanted to chuck it at Apple. I was really hot, but it's a drug. So I try to limit
your passwords.
Yeah,
I know. So I try to limit my time on it now because it really was a drug.
Yeah, so he just needs to find himself a little book, something just learn and just write passwords. That's it, and then just put that in a safe, gun safe, money safe, whatever. Just keep it right there, so if you ever need it, you just go open it up and just
code it. Put it in your wife's phone or whatever, and they won't know what it is. Like, what the hell is this? Don't worry about it.
All right, now sitting back in the green room, or supposed green room, is the man of the hour here, Dr. Pat Cuntrera. How are you, sir?
I am doing fantastic tonight. How are all of you doing?
Wonderful. Really good. Looking forward to talking with you. It was one of those. It's been a while since we've actually done this type of show, so I was glad when Brian brought this up. So it'd be really cool to get back on track with this one. So, all right, how does an ordained minister get involved with the paganistic practice of healing frequencies and other new age things? Because if we know one thing, the church says if you do anything that is tarot, crystals, anything like that, you are deviating from the works of Christ. So how did you bridge the gap of these two?
What I will tell you is that I've been a naturopathic doctor a long time before I was ordained as a Catholic priest. Natural medicine has been an interest all of my life, ever since I was a teenager lifting weights in his basement. And I started to learn some very, very interesting things. And I stumbled on the frequencies completely by mistake. After I got my naturopathic medical degree, I did an internship at this place in Georgia. It was actually a clinic, and I kept in contact with the doctor that was in charge. And all of a sudden, one day on his Facebook page, he puts up an article about rife frequencies. And that's when I started to research it. All he had to do is tell me the title, and I'm like, okay, I want to know everything about this. And when I researched it, I looked at this gentleman. His name is Roy. Okay, Roy, in about the 1920s, 1930s, medical doctor, had about 35 stage 4 cancer patients, with no hope for them. So he decided to play a frequency for them, a carefully researched frequency. And 1 month later, they are all in remission. So once I learned about this, yep, there's Roy with his sound wave machine. And I started to research these frequencies. And the rife frequencies started to look for things like high blood pressure, migraine, aches and pains. Like every little ailment that I had, I would look up with the word rife after it. And wouldn't you know, there is a frequency for it. And I was excited. I told a friend of mine about this, very good friend. And he says, oh, by the way, have you ever heard of something called binaural beats? And I'm like, huh? Binaural beats. And I start looking at some of these things. DNA repair, astral projection, activating dormant DNA, detox, and some of the healing, cancer, kidneys, pancreas, you name it, there is a frequency out there for it. Now, I will tell you that, and I will say this, that if my mentor, out there ends up listening to this. Archbishop Callahan, I do love you, and I know and I appreciate everything you've done for me. He is a very patient man. But these frequencies, they come from nature. Now, understand that there are people out there, like in this archbishop, he has a problem with the whole, what you would call New Age movement, with the crystals, with the frequencies, with the herbs, because some people use that as a substitute for faith. Okay. When they refer to that source of all life in the universe, they refer to that as source. And okay, so they basically use New Age as a faith without God. Me, I believe that when I look at herbs, when I see a crystal or something, or a stone, when I hear a frequency, personally, this is my belief. I believe God gave it to us. Okay? He gave us the tools to help ourselves.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's, it was kind of tongue in cheek the way I phrased that too. So, you answered that perfectly. No, it was because it's one of those things that it's really surprisingly, because it's all the way back to it's a dark period for the Catholic Church anyway, just with what happened, through the whole coming out, where everybody was prosecuted, because it's one of those things for somebody to be able to figure out that this plant or this frequency, if I hit this, if I hit this thing and I make this frequency sound, all of a sudden this person starts feeling better, or I crush up these leaves with this flower, and all of a sudden, instead of me having to drill a hole in your head, the headache goes away. But that natural pathic healer is now a witch, a servant of the devil, the demon. And that was the problem, is like the church is almost kind of in a way stuck with this, that anything that isn't literally in this book is of the devil, and we can't touch it. And just like you said, you look at these things, how many things do you find in here? It's like, yeah, the Bible isn't going to spell out if you eat this flower, like chamomile tea, all of a sudden you're going to feel good. It's not going to say that, but that doesn't mean it's of the devil.
It does say that, because it says in there numerous times, everything, God even says it, everything you need, I've given to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that means all the forests, all the plants, the water, the concoction of those leaves, sounds, frequency, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on this. God gave it to you. It's in the Bible. The problem with the Bible is, if you can fix yourself, you don't really necessarily need the church or the priest or the bishop.
Absolutely.
Or whoever.
Yep.
You just need God. And that's, I think, what Jesus was trying to say. You don't need these other people. Just talk to God.
So while we're on this subject, I actually have a statement and a statement and a question. So, people were saying during the bug that the church was under attack by Satan, because we couldn't go to these places during the bug. But what if it was God trying to remove the church, certain titles from people from the church, so they could get closer to God? What if, because we couldn't go to that building, because we couldn't be together? What if that was to remove people from, okay, well, I'm the pastor, I'm the deacon, I'm this, so you could pray in your closet by yourself?
Well, I will say first thing, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I will stand in their midst. Okay, the church is anywhere you want or need it to be. Back in my days as a Boy Scout, where was our chapel on Sundays when we were camping? Standing around a campfire.
Yep.
And standing around a campfire. So people needed to learn how to pray on their own, small groups. But I will say, and I heard this one theory, that prayer in large groups actually was helping to stave away evil for centuries. The best thing we can do is pray in groups. So, of course, these people of dubious morality, what's the first thing they do? They close the churches. Okay?
Right.
So, which really didn't care for that idea. They close churches and gyms, but they keep the fast food places and the liquor stores open. So The fact that the churches were closed down, let's face it, God gives us free will. Okay. So the people that closed it down wasn't God.
Right.
Okay.
I
No,
mean,
that's
I don't think, personally, I think they were trying to prevent you from going to God because they didn't want you to. It was all the separation. No, separate them. Don't let them go. Because if you know that you can go to the church, you can get healed, and you can get, God can pray on you and do whatever, then they have no control over you. It's all about control. I posted that before about the church, and every church. It's all about control. That's just my 2 cents.
oh no, it was. It definitely was, because how many videos did we see like down in Australia or someplace like that where
Oh my
they're
God.
trying to hold church, and all of a sudden, pretty much a SWAT team comes in there and tries to break up the. But like you said, we can all go to Walmart as long as we stay spaced,
Yeah.
with our masks on. We were fine. But anybody, you can't go to these outings. Well, it was.
Thank God for that plastic shield.
Well, and that was, I think, a lot of it was just because anytime somebody could be can group together like mind, then you don't have that control, because then, the three of us are sitting there at the church with Pat, and we have a similar, we're of the like mind, we are of the same thing. So we're having the same, and we can't have that. The individual that was more important to make sure that people were individualist than group. Because people, when you're separated, you're not as strong as you are as a group, and
Right.
it's well known.
So, I mean, getting into the same, why you asked Chris why it all took place, but I asked, why did the church go along with it? And they shouldn't have. I'm not even
I
of
will
that
say,
faith. They should not have. And they all went along with it, and they injected something that they had no idea. So I just, that's just my 2 cents again. I'm gonna
So
get
now,
well, we did. Sorry.
go
Well,
ahead.
we
I was
didn't know
going to
the
ask.
truth. I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
So now, I mean, you still were talking on that subject, so I'm gonna let you finish. But I was gonna get back on topic because what you said struck something in. So I'm like, well, let me ask this question while we're on this subject. But I kind of want to reel back to the subject that we were on. But
you got it.
Well,
You
let's
wanna-
face it. The church and a lot of us really didn't truly understand what was going on. So we went along with it because we didn't know, and we were legitimately scared.
Yeah, no, I agree, but there was a plethora of information out there, and everybody, instead of choosing to do some real reading, they relied on 30-second sound bites and YouTube, which everybody's doing right now. And remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
but it's, had you read the information, I read a certain doctor's papers 20 plus years ago. I knew all about this, and the minute they said what was in it, I said, don't take it. I know the outcome. And there are plenty of, and please don't let the church say, well, we didn't know, only because there are, how many doctors, like medical doctors in church, how many scientists are in church, chemists, give me a break. I don't know why it was done. I have an idea. I don't want to start anything right now because we're talking about frequencies and feeling good.
That's right.
So we'll let go back to Pat.
Well, you're just giving an excuse to have a healing frequency because you're going to get all worked up.
Yes, I need a healing frequency.
so on the frequencies that you were talking about, is there one for obesity that really struck my interest as well?
Well, funny you should mention that. Like I said, there's a frequency for just about everything. And I have found frequencies for obesity. And let's see, obesity, superhuman strength. And there's one I've been trying for the past couple months, a myostatic inhibitor. Myostatin is the hormone that prevents your body from building muscle. This frequency blocks it. So I decided to go back to weightlifting from some of my other modes of exercise. And in a couple of months, a lot of good things happening. But yes, you can build muscle, you can build strength, you can build, you can burn body fat. Yes. Okay, here is the Here is
Crystals,
the
blasphemer.
hey, God gave them to us.
I know.
Now, I was looking at this, and I want to mention one. If you're going to start, and it's not on this one to begin with, 432 hertz, 432. Okay, and that is a general healing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
432.
that is
I think. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, brother. Pat.
It's a general healing frequency. Heals all the chakras, total body healing, raises your overall vibration. So if somebody says, what frequency do I start with? Okay, go to 432.
We are
Now, I'm
at
gonna tell you a little-
432. You're hearing it right now, just so you know. When Pat mentions a frequency, I'm going to be playing it in the background.
Now, the interesting thing about the frequency is, well, how does it work? Well, all matter is frequency. All frequency is vibration. So every organ in your body vibrates at a separate frequency. And these are the frequencies that make them vibrate. Okay. Now, I often refer to the frequencies as audible acupuncture. Now, I don't know if you've gone for acupuncture before, but there's no medicine in the needles. The needles stimulate the organs, okay? Just like these stimulate organs. So, different organs. We have the 432. We have, now I want to mention 963. That is a beautiful frequency. It says awakens perfect state. It's also called the God frequency. And it's fascinating because when Buddhist monks chant Om at a very specific frequency, they're chanting at 963 hertz, and it makes the pineal gland vibrate. Okay, and that pineal gland, you know what that does. So
you're hearing it now. Just so you know, I'm just sharing them. You're hearing as Dr. Pat's talking, I'm going to be playing these frequencies so you can actually get a taste of what it does for you.
So you're talking about, and that's also for 963, also for astral projection, awakening psychic abilities, communicating with God. So, becoming closer to God. So that is a wonderful frequency. Now, 741 is a good frequency if you're sick. Now, I found that not only is it good for viruses and infections, it's also good to get rid of parasites. And a lot of us have a lot more parasites in us than we ever realize. Repairing DNA at 528 hertz. Okay. Our DNA gets damaged. Radiation, some of the things in the food we eat, this repairs it. Okay. Pain relief, 174. Also very good if you hurt. If you have a headache, then you use 174. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this too. These frequencies fall under the category of do no harm. That's the Hippocratic Oath. Okay. So at the very least, do no harm. At the very worst, these will do nothing. These aren't going to cost you. These will not cost you a lot of money. There are other channels on YouTube that broadcast and have all of these frequencies. You don't have to pay for them. All you need is a good way to listen to them. Now, one of the things I'm going to show over here, make sure it doesn't fall on the floor. There's two things you can use. One is any speaker that has a good bass on it and is also stereo. Because what happens with these frequencies, there's two frequencies that come together. For example, the 174 is actually two frequencies. One goes in one ear, one goes in the other. And the difference between the two frequencies, if you subtract the two numbers, is 174. Okay, so you need the stereo You need something with a good bass. Now I'm going to show you something else too that I use. I know a lot of people like to use Apple AirPods, and there's 100 reasons why I wouldn't use it. But I'm going to show you the headphones that I'm wearing tonight. These are, and I'm going to take this off for 1 second. These are what they call bone conducting headphones. The speaker right over here on the front, if you look at it, it sits in front of the ear, not over it. Broadcast directly to the middle and inner ear, and you get less distortion. You could probably get a really good pair of these on home shopping on some of those shopping sites for about maybe $35. So it really doesn't take much to get involved with these. Now, I mean, like I said, literally anything you can think of. Now I'm going to show you something. Don't laugh.
No. Someone mentioned in the comments that a lot of the data needs to be put in an Excel spreadsheet. Yes, it has. There
I'm
are
putting it together.
Yes, Pat. Dr. Pat's putting it together. He will have a book out shortly or soon. It's in the process right now.
Now, one of the other frequencies I tried, and I just look up frequencies. Now, I tried something. Okay, don't laugh. This is me. Okay, I wear glasses. I found a frequency for eyesight. Okay, and I was listening to it for a few months. All right, so I noticed my glasses were giving me a problem. Last spring, I go to the doctor, and the doctor looks at the eye doctor, examines me. I need a much, much lighter prescription now than I ever did because the frequency healed me. If there's a person with diabetes, look up the words binaural and diabetes or pancreas. You can find something.
I'll tell you, and I'm going to attest to this because about 2 years ago, wasn't feeling well, didn't think much of it. Doctor was an a-hole, wouldn't see me. What a prick. So he said, go to the urgent care, which they had for their practice. And I went to the urgent care really early in the morning and discovered that my blood sugar was 502.
Jeez.
And they said, you're going to the hospital. I'm like, okay, whatever. And it immediately went down. They, hydrated and whatever. I also took about 30 days of steroids for a skin ailment, and that doesn't help you. But I got worried because one of the ramifications of diabetes is sight loss. And I felt that my sight was a little bit blurry or something was going on with it. So contacted Dr. Pat about it. And he sent me the frequency for repairing the sight. And I started listening to it for about a week. My eyesight actually got better, which was proven with an eye test, but almost instantaneously, I felt it clear up and everything was, pretty much normal. So it does work right now. I mean,
and here's those headphones he was talking about.
Can you listen to them frequencies as you go to sleep, or you just anytime you need? When do you recommend listening to the frequency?
Now, the nice thing is with these headphones, since they're not over your ears, you can listen to them all day long. When I'm doing work around the house, working out, driving, I can listen to these while I drive because with those headphones, they don't go over the ears. Okay. So unless now there are certain frequencies that help you to sleep at night. Yes, those you listen to at night. Now there are some frequencies. What I will do is I'll take the speaker, I'll turn it on real low, and I'll play the frequency all night long. So I do play them while I sleep. So you can listen to. Just don't listen to the sleeping ones while you're driving, and you're golden.
Yeah, that's really important. Some people, they don't get it, but I have a program on my phone for binaural beats, and there's a variety of them. They're right there.
They have a program. They have an app for that.
Oh yeah, plenty of apps for it. And I actually
pretty much an app for everything.
It's called Brainwave, and they do a lot of this stuff. But there's for problem solving, you can actually take it instead of drinking coffee, there's something called morning coffee, and you can play it. This is for lucid dreaming, and I'm going to play it through. Hopefully, it will play.
I don't think I need to take that one. I've already have vivid enough dreams without amping those things up.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if it wants. Oh, here we go. That's. I was lowering the volume on that. This is without any ambience, and this is with a little ambience on it. So you can put a little water in there just to kind of break it up. And,
with these frequencies, does anything? Have you found like I don't even want to say like natural versus unnatural, because you have like these that are generated through computer system stuff. Is there any benefit to the tuning fork method as opposed to something like an MP3 sound like you're listening to?
Now, I will tell you that I'm learning about like the tuning forks, the chakra healers, and I learned this through, which by the way, and I can say this, I'm not Roman Catholic, I'm Western Orthodox Catholic. I'm allowed to have a girlfriend and I can get married. Okay, just to clear that up. I have a lady friend. She's Indigenous American, she's Indian, and she is a priestess, okay, and a healer. We will actually go over people's houses and heal people together. I've noticed that she does have those tuning forks, the one for every chakra, which are the same frequencies that I'm telling you about. And they both work very, very well. The difference with the tuning forks is she will take the base of the tuning fork and put it right over the location of the chakra. Okay, so you can get a more pinpointed treatment if you use those, but a frequency is a frequency.
Okay, so there's not really a difference between how they're generated. It's more like you said, it's just kind of like the cancer treatment. You could either walk into a thing where it's just like a generalized, we inject you with this thing, or where they do like the targeted application. Okay,
but sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, doctor. When you're listening to some of these things, you do need a left and right because certain frequencies are coming at you in almost in a different
You have one frequency. That's why you need something either stereo or stereo headphones, because you have one frequency that needs to go in each ear. Again, the actual frequency is the difference of the two, and then that goes to the subconscious. So what you do, so you need the stereo speakers if you're using some kind of machine generated frequency. But if you're using the tuning forks, right on the affected area. So they both work in slightly different ways.
And in when you mentioned the tuning forks, Craig and Dr. Pat, when you hit that tuning fork and you place it like let's say on the crown chakra, technically it's almost like exactly the bone conductive headphones. It works almost the same principle behind it, which is interesting. I've been playing a frequency in the background because I'm just a bad boy, and hopefully people can hear it. This is my favorite frequency that I've discussed with Pat.
No.
Yeah, it's great. And we'll find out. I'll let you know what it is and see if people slip off their seats. Okay? Can we play this that way? This is actually called hand-free orgasm for male or female. So where's Laura right now?
I don't know
Where are you missing out on this one? But I mean, some of these things are incredible, and
that one I wouldn't listen to when I'm driving.
No, I don't think I'm
Oh, that'd be all bad.
You've been drinking tonight, sir? No. I was listening to Dr. Pat's frequencies.
I was in a hand-free orgasms for a while, and that's it.
I promise you, both hands was on the wheel, sir.
You see Alan's thing? Yeah, it's one of those frequencies you don't leave on when you got the pets at home. You come back.
the
pets are all happy.
What are you doing back here?
Yeah. Alexa, play frequency. All of a sudden, the cat, you're just like, why is the dog smiling? I don't understand this. Awesome. All right.
Now, I will tell you that, again, I've been experimenting. I found a new frequency that I really, really liked. Okay, I found 40 hertz, 40.
Oh,
It's used for brain injuries, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia,
that is
and
sweet.
it helps me to memorize and remember a lot better because I do a lot of things I have to have memorized. And I will also say this too, and this is personal experience. I'm attention deficit disorder, big time. So that frequency, with the help of a doctor who respects natural medicine and the assistance of some natural remedies, after decades, I am no longer on any medication for attention deficit.
You said it was
some
40?
of these
40.
40, yes, 40.
Yeah, 40.
I'll try to find it. I mean, I can kind of.
So when do you play that one? I'm really interested in like 2 or 3 frequencies, so I'm gonna have to download the app Brian was telling me about. So when do you play the one for ADHD?
Now, when your wife's
Okay,
trying to
now
talk
here's
to
what
you.
I do, because you can just,
I'm sorry, you said
You
that
are
when your
bad.
wife tried to talk to you.
well, if you want to, you can just anytime, like doing housework, driving, whatever. But when I need to memorize something, okay, here's the instructions that I found. I took squirrel. Sorry, the one comment.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm not.
Squirrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I play the frequency for about 15 minutes, and then I sit down and I start reading and memorizing while still playing it. So I got to play it for 15 minutes ahead of time, and then I keep playing as I'm studying. So that's the one that's a little different.
Right. I'm looking for I have several tone generators on my phone, but I can't seem to find one right now. When I
40?
do, try to put that on so people can hear it.
Yeah, for anybody that like I said, for anybody that always wonders, see, I take notes
Yes.
during the shows. So
Oh,
if there,
neat.
anybody ever sees like I'm down here and they're like, Craig's not even paying attention, I'm like, oh heck no, I'm sitting here, I'm getting writer's cramp. As the
So
guests are going, I've got stacks of stuff. Like I said, people see like the notes.
Yeah, because I
But
was
yeah,
curious.
so that was one of the because family member has Parkinson's, and that's one of the things. It's like typically it's like a lot of So, do you know? Is there one that would be somewhere that helps with I don't, motor function? I would say would probably be the great would be a good way, either motor function or just the ability to like get some of like calm the symptoms.
Again, I would say the 40 hertz because it's overall brain healing. There are some natural remedies or natural supplements that you can take with it. Little off topic, but if I'm with your permission,
Yeah, go for it.
Mhm.
okay.
Oh yeah.
The big one, coconut oil, teaspoon a day. Okay. And in addition to coconut oil, there's 2 others that I take. I take phosphatidylserine and phosphatidylcholine for brain function.
Okay.
Make notes of this kid is going to be on the final. So I actually was able to get 40 hertz. And if you're hearing it right now, I don't know how loud it is. If you can hear, it's a very, very basic.
Hey, if I start seeing focus, then we know it's working.
It's extremely basic, but I'm broadcasting it through the phone, and I can dial in whatever I pretty much want. I can only go to a certain point because once you get into the teens and the ones, like the individuals, you get into tones, correct me if I'm wrong, that are extremely deadly and dangerous on some tones, some hertz.
Some of them I haven't found any yet that are deadly, but like I say, I'm sure people aren't putting them on their channels if they were.
Right. Nothing like killing your audience, Pat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you do the clickbait
Great
ones.
show,
Whatever you do not play this frequency. And everybody clicks on the thing, and that's when that's how you just get like the 40. that you get people just click the other one, and then they're all sitting. You get all the nasty comments like that. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
I had my ex listen to this, and they're still here.
How to drive out your egg.
Yeah.
You want to be on 13 hertz. Yeah,
Is it an evil frequency?
Yeah. Oh my God, Dr. Pat.
Yeah, that's. Oh man, that's the cool part. Is like when you're, because you see some of these things. It's, I think, I'm trying to think the app. There's another one they really advertise all the time, where they talk about listen to these sounds for calm. Like you'll have like the different noise. Yeah, and it's so it seems to have
white noise, green noise.
Yeah. There's one. I don't know what it is. I want to say it was like they're brown or something like. But the sound, it's almost irritating to me. It's like I'll hear it, and it actually is one of those where I'm just like, something's off, and it's not soothing at all.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Just shut it off. It's like a whiny.
Actually, brown noise is supposed to help people fall asleep, but that you and I know that as people with attention deficit, our brains are wired just a little bit differently.
Right.
Yeah, that could be, because they're like, this one's for calming, and I'm like, I'll look at my wife, I'm like, there's nothing calming about that. It's always like it doesn't bother me, but to some people, like the nails on a chalkboard. Yeah. It has that just thing where it's just there's something I'm like, this nothing calming about this at all.
Pretty much. There's something out here, and it's like, oh.
What frequent? Because April's thing it made me think about that. She said the old Norse chants, like the Buddhist monks. I think they're the ones that do that double, where they can, like, that reverberate sound, where they can almost make that. What frequency is that? Because that one's actually sometimes I've actually find that one, which is kind of weird. I actually find that one pretty soothing myself.
Again, when they chant Om, that's 963 hertz, the God frequency. So that's yes.
Yeah, let's see if we can.
Wakes up the pineal gland, could wake up
that's
latent
this one right
psychic
here.
Abilities. Good stuff.
This has a little bit of piano in it, but you can get the pineal tone without any of this stuff in it. The extras that some people put in there. Yeah, it's a little bit better. What about one of our favorites? And I'll share something before we get to it. People don't realize that they're affected by frequency on a daily basis. Correct me if I'm wrong, Doc.
It is. That's the term. Diphonic.
Yeah. Which one? Yeah.
What, MA?
Oh, MA. Good. But this is, can you talk and discuss about the Schumann? And I'll throw that into the system.
Okay. The Schumann frequency is a frequency given off by the Earth. There's sounds that are bouncing between the surface of the Earth and like the ionosphere. Okay. And it works at 3 hertz. Now, if you're in tune with this frequency, you're in tune with the Earth, you're very much at peace. There's a problem here, though. And this graph is actually shows it quite well. There's sometimes when the Schumann frequency becomes very intense, these white areas. So all of a sudden, the Earth is vibrating even harder, even stronger, and you're sensitive to it. There are people, and I'm one of them too, that if I'm having a bad day for no discernible reason, I look at the readings for the Schumann resonance, because that would probably be one of these days that are bright white and super intense. So when it's not intense and you're attuned to it, it's calming. It's very peaceful.
No, for the layman, and amongst people that aren't really, really into like the Schumann resonance, what causes those peaks? Because you'll have like those really intense moments. Do we know what causes that actual physical thing to have such an intensity all of a sudden?
Well, I noticed that we've been having a lot of CMEs, coronal mass ejections from the sun this past year. And what happens is I noticed that those are very closely related with these very intense Schumann resonance times. So when that radiation, when the frequency that was given off by the sun reaches the Earth, this is what we get here and here and here.
Okay.
Sorry, you can't see my mouse. Sorry, but you get those three intense zones.
No, I figured. Yeah, I was looking at the picture. I was like, I saw the three, so that's what I was able to piece that one. It's like, yeah, that's because that's one of those things. I've just wondered if there was like a direct, like every time you have a solar flare, if we see that pretty much like a correlation. It's almost kind of like, when you have the Richter scale, every time there's an earthquake, you see the spikes, and it's just the same way. Like when the sun has an ejection moment, can we pretty much almost guarantee that within a certain amount of time we're going to have one of these hot spots in the Schumann?
I will say nothing can be guaranteed, but there's a very close correlation. And by the way, April, I think Mother Earth is kind of sick of our stuff right now.
Yes, it's very interesting. There's a guy on the YouTube. His name's Dutch Sensei. He's really great with earthquakes and think earth changes that are going on right now. He was the one that discovered that there's something strange about some of these fire events, and he has he backs up, he records everything. So he has backup data of something coming down just before or after or during, one of the three, when the fire started in Ontario. And he said they don't normally do that, and this is something very suspect of it. He didn't come out and say that this is BS, but if you've listened to him before, you'll see it. One of the things that earthquakes do is they do give off frequencies, and there are different changes in the frequencies before they go crazy, they pop. And this is why a lot of the animals start freaking out. It's not just the pressure; they're hearing things at a higher pitch. And they're like, run to the hills, type of thing. So
sounds logical.
Yeah, it's really, really weird, but very interesting. Fortunately, can you predict it? I don't know.
I had a question. I'm just trying to figure out how to phrase it. It was pretty much, because obviously with anything, like in a medical profession, there's not going to be a one size treatment that everybody has. But it's for a lot of these things, it really seems like there needs to be more of a focus on like this aspect first before we go the chemical medicine route. It seems like a lot of the things like this would be a beneficial thing to try too, when you're figuring out the treatments. But like I said, as a medical professional, you're not going to tell everybody quit taking your meds, quit doing all this stuff. You're basically try this, like almost the way Brian said, and you were talking about it. Try this, and if it starts working, well, then you can start weaning yourself off that medication.
Right.
Would be probably the better. So do you think that would be a better way to phrase that as opposed to just, do this first, and then if it doesn't work, go seek help?
Exactly. And I like to think of the natural medicine route in all its forms as complementary medicine. They work together very well. But yes, if you're having a health issue, a minor one, take a look at it from the natural medicine perspective. What can you change? And also, what can you change with lifestyle? What would happen if maybe you changed your diet around just a little bit? Maybe if you exercise just a little bit more. Those are maybe a little more fresh air. Sit outside, get some sunlight. If you listen to a lot of people in the media, sunlight's bad, stay inside. No, sunlight is very good for you. So first thing you should look at is a lifestyle change. You should also look at the natural remedies. And if it doesn't work, then by all means, go to the doctor and work together. Let that complementary medicine work together.
And I'm a gamer anyway. I like to play video games, and so one of the things I actually started doing to force myself to walk, I'm actually playing Pokemon Go again.
Go.
If it gets you out of the house,
because I honestly this last week I walked 75 kilometers.
Nice.
So it's one of those. So it's actually causing me to actually move more than, so as I said, even though it seems silly, it's just I'm out there catching Pikachu, you know, and stuff. It's like, but it's just, it's fun because they even have this thing called following, so it's, except without getting all game talk here, it's one of those things I've told some people, it's like, at least it's something that's, forcing me to exercise, it's taking a step, and it's just one of those. And then, now I just got to figure out, have the frequencies going like in the earbuds at the same time as playing, like I said, it's like that'd be a pretty, good combo.
Not the earbuds, the bone bone conducting. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
And
because
you
use the earbuds in one, and then the bone conducting in another for different things. You have two things going at once.
So you look like
just the bone conducting.
Cancel each other out. I'm listening to Metallica in the earbuds and trying to have the other stuff going.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
So you strongly discourage Apple AirPod Pros? Because if I could be listening to something and I hear every beat of the music, because they're like a pro version, so I can hear one frequency going in this ear and something else going in the other.
The thing is, they're covering your ears. You're not listening to what's going on around you. And also, I want you to do a little research, because those two earbuds communicate with each other. Okay, so you got something going back and forth in between them, some radiation. So you might want to take a look at them. Do some research, see what happens with them. But personally, if I'm like in public, if I can still listen and still keep my ears uncovered, I'd rather do that. And like I said, the nice thing about the bone conducting headphones, you saw what looked like a very good model. They do tend to be a lot less expensive than the AirPods, earbuds, whatever they are. Yes. So.
Yeah, I mean, I picked up a pair of them. They were on. I got it at Best Buy, and initially I didn't. Kind of bugged me out. I wasn't really like a fan of it, but then I started using it for. I didn't want to combat TV volume with people, so I hooked up a TV so I can actually put it in my ears, and it works great. You get used to it really quick, but you can still hear things that are going outside, but it's rather loud. And the newer one's even better. So it's a suggestion.
No, it's medical help here. I know I've had hydrogen peroxide put in my ear, before, like, heated, to get rid of like earwax and stuff like that. But I'm not quite sure about if it's something recommended to start pouring it in your ear.
All right, that's one remedy I have not tried. So to be honest, I would have to do some research on it.
I mean, they do tell you, some people, to do it, but I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV.
But did you stay in a Holiday Inn resort?
No, I didn't. No, I just stayed at the whorehouse next to the Holiday Inn. But
listening to that frequency,
a lot of it depends. If you have a lot of earwax in your ear, they're going to give you old school trick, Mr. Italian up there, olive oil, little drops of olive oil in the ear, and it'll take it right out. A lot of people used to use, before going to the doctor, and look, these are just conversations. I'm not suggesting this, but some people have used vodka in their ear for ear infections, along with a hair dryer to blow some warm air in there to dry it out. So
no, I'm assuming we're doing Q-tip application, not just tipping your head while you grab the, olive oil container and dump.
No, this is not medical advice by the Three Beers podcast. So
we're
please
not doctors. Always check with your physician. Yeah.
I will tell you, for earaches, problems with tinnitus, and then my father used to do this. He used to take a spoon, fill it up with oil. He used to put it over, the burner on the gas stove, warm it up just a little bit, dab it with the finger and put it in the ear a little bit, and things got better.
Yep.
So, and that's only hearsay. I don't recommend it. I'm not saying, try it, but it did help.
Yeah, that's one of those things. This is, this is not, do this. This is one of those. We're just hypotheticals here. Yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of stuff. Like April just said, just you have the witch hazel, oregano oil also helps. I think it's one because you always hear these natural remedies. Yeah.
I
But
will
it's
say
no.
oregano oil is a fantastic antibiotic. You can
Yes.
get it in capsules. It is amazing.
It's actually I was watching something recently, and this kid did a science test. The effects of certain oils, or homeopathic type meds, oregano oil and basil leaf or whatever it is, versus antibiotics. And the teacher was kind of laughed at him until the results came in, and the oregano oil just obliterated everything. It was really like major league obliterated to the point where he had to present this to a hospital and looking at some other doctors, and they're looking into it now. I mean, I've used it a couple of times. It's good for you have a digestive tract issue, or you have like some diseases or allergies or ailments come from your intestinal tract, and if you take that, it helps to clear you out and cleanse you, and it burns like a mother. Okay.
Mhm.
6 drops, I highly recommend put 6 drops in something that tastes good, chug it, get it down, and then have a follow-up. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a treat.
What are we drinking?
This is oregano oil. It's done by the drops. So I would put into a small, like, be it a shot glass or a small glass, a little bit of, like, I don't know, whatever, grape Fanta. Drop some of the 6 drops in there and just chug it, and you'll feel it burning. And then I'd follow it with some water or something, because it hurts. But when it stops burning is your body's way of telling you that you're kind of healed or you're in a good zone.
I like mullein leaf. Mullein leaf is one of my favorite herbs to take.
It just seems like a horrible thing. Like your body's burning, and you're like, I'm just waiting for the burning sensation to go away to know I'm better. It's like
we get that with peppers, right?
I know, but it's one of those. It's like, what are you doing? I'm helping myself. Yeah, but everything burns. I don't understand this.
My mouth burns, my ass burns, everything burns.
No, I was just looking up. There's a recipe, too, for how to make that oregano oil. Just like make it at home for people like there. But that's one of those. This has become oil talk too.
It's fine.
Essential oils, but you see, that's one of the things when you get like these natural things. It's amazing. It's amazing the way things work together. I mean, I think that's one of the beautiful part. Like those actual, like the old time healers, the ones that they understood that things had connections. Like when you applied stuff at certain times, did certain things, they had a different effect than if you did it. You did it during this time and this, and you can see how a combination of these things, along with that frequency, like acupuncture, the tuning forks, they actually can spur your body to regenerate itself, and that's one of those things where you can actually see it. I mean, why the early church would feel threatened, like what we started with. I mean, I could see why they would want to demonize this thing, because obviously you can't have people healing themselves, because you had to, the only way was through the church at that time, and so this one, you could see why the early one. I mean, like I said, a lot of things have gotten better. We're not burning the naturopathic store shop owners at the stake anymore.
Burn them down.
It was just
actually the naturopathic medicines are now what we call vitamin shops for the most part. Am I right?
Yes.
Or Whole Foods for you yuppies.
Whole Foods.
Tons of money on food that you don't need to, but whatever.
Yeah, overpriced thing for a pepper. Go to
how
Whole
much
Foods.
is this tomato? $16.95.
Oh yeah, my wife found out real quick.
Right.
You know how normal people get grapes and they kind of eat them on the way to the register. She got to the register and the grapes were like $14. She's like, man, I started to put them grapes back and asking, can I pay for the ones I ate? I say, honey, you're crazy. She's like, dude, I got the register. Lady's like, they're $14. Like, I could have went to Walmart and had 16 bags for $14.
There's other stores you can go to. You don't need to go to these places. A lot of local farmers down in the state of Florida, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would go ahead. Sorry, Pat.
You might also want to check out, believe it or not, Aldi's. because they actually
All
have
these
a
are good.
store brand where they eliminate 120 artificial ingredients. If you notice, like some of their store brands, they will eliminate things like GMOs, high fructose corn syrup. And the fact that they're doing this at the same time trying to be a cost leader, a low-cost store, they're worth checking out too. I find a lot of organic items there.
Yeah, we started shop every Sunday. We go to Aldi's, and we pick stuff. And
Building one right around the corner from my complex here, and what I love about the a lot of it's European food, if I'm correct, right? And
European food, yes, but locally produced.
Well, yeah, but some of the stuff's imported, and
Yes.
the best part about Europe is or the EU is no GMOs. It's all real food. Let me tell you something. Take a tomato from the US, bring it over to any country in the EU with a tomato, cut it up and eat it. You'll say you'll go ballistic for what tomatoes really taste like. They're incredible. This goes for every fruit and vegetable.
And Italy just passed a law saying that they don't allow lab-grown meat.
Oh, yeah, thank God, because I really don't want lab meat.
Yeah, well, we got on that little sidetrack. Did you see that clip of Benjamin Netanyahu eating the fish fillet that was printed?
No, I didn't.
They took the cells, like I said, and they actually created a fish fillet, and then the chef prepared it, and they all ate it, and they were sitting there like, wow, this tastes. Like I said, they were eating this, and I'm like, we're to the point where we're actually printing a fish fillet.
Wow.
I don't want anything printed. Thank you. No.
I heard they were printing chicken at KFC.
They've been one of the first groups have been doing it. I won't eat it.
They're going to try it, but I would say right now, a lot of people that are freaking out about it, it's going to be specialty things because places like KFC, Burger King, they can't afford to have on their menu because it's not a big enough scale model right now. So they're not going to be able to afford a $20 a pound product to be serving as their $1.99 burger. It's not there yet, but down the road, yes, it will be coming. But right now, it's too expensive.
Yeah, Derek. The question that if you could read that, Pat. I don't know if it's a question or a statement. But he says, "How about in times of old, the buildings worked as frequency beacons, and I believe they used copper too to harness our planet's energy and would flow through the buildings where people would gather inside for healings." This is something of the Tartarians, I believe.
The Tartarians?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he has that thing.
They're saying that that's what they did with a lot of the churches. But I'm trying to find the way that the churches were designed. Still working on it. If it is, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but it is fascinating.
Well, wouldn't it also?
I know.
Yeah. In the church where you have the large round stained glass that piles
Oh yeah,
out,
the round stained glass window right by the entrance.
It's very reminiscent of some of the shapes that the semantics make, where you're playing with frequencies and then these shapes form. They do it with a lot of sand on a sandboard. They put a speaker underneath it and dial in 40 hertz, and all of a sudden it makes a certain shape, and that's why these things were created in that shape because they're healing frequencies or they produce healing frequencies. Just an idea. I can't wait till you find out, and then you can bring it back.
I would have to find something to measure, see if I can measure any output, energy, magnetism, anything like that. And by the way, there is one church that actually has drawings of the semantics at the different frequencies. Okay. And that church is Rosalind. That little chap. If you look,
Rosalind
they have
is, right?
some of the Rosalind Chapel. There are carvings that are the frequencies.
Yes.
So, what you're saying that the churches are built on a harmonic frequency or whatever, that you haven't found any research to support that yet. But I do notice when the bell rings. I do notice when the bell rings on. So we have one church in where we work at. And that bell seems like it's a harmonic, nice frequency. Doom, doom.
It might be. Just remember, and even our music was different not too long ago, okay? Because what happened was the scale used to be centered around something called the natural A, which was 432 hertz, which is a healing frequency and helps you evolve. It elevates you. And then all of a sudden, I think somebody, I don't know, Rothschild or somebody like that, decided that we should make natural A 440 hertz, which is a magnet for negative energy. Okay, so it was different back then. I'm sure the bells were different. I know the Tibetans like to use those bowls for sound baths.
Yes.
And I tell you, I had somebody playing. Now, it's one thing to have, the app, the tuning forks, the recordings. I was in a room and somebody decided to play, start up half a dozen Tibetan bowls. Okay, by the time he was done with these, and some of those bowls are pretty large, by the time he was done, I'm sitting there. My whole body is vibrating. It was amazing.
Yeah, those singing bowls are pretty interesting.
Yeah, I love them. We use them on a lot of investigations. I'm playing them right now. We use them on a lot of investigations, and usually when we don't get something going on at one no activity, the minute we ramp up the area with this frequency from a variety of different Tibetan singing bowls, and they relate to different chakras and different frequencies, different tones, things start happening. I don't know if it's the cattle call or the doorbell for the other side, but it really does work to help in your investigations.
Yeah, and it was one of the things I was trying to go back to, like the original thing. When you were doing this thing, what would you say has been one of your biggest discoveries when you've been delving into this frequencies for yourself?
Okay. The fact that, the changes, real noticeable changes, okay, and the way they affected me. Like, I was listening to a lot of 963 hertz, and it affected me to the point where you feel chakras opening up. I mean, I some of these frequencies make me a better healer, okay, because so that's kind of what I do. I'm a little bit of a healer myself. It's just that it was giving me real, tangible results, okay? When I say the eyesight, when I got off medications, when I'm listening to a frequency for blood pressure, and all of a sudden I don't need blood pressure medications anymore. The amazing part is, yes, I was getting real results.
Also, the weight loss. Talk to him about what happened by using these frequencies.
Oh, I dropped 60 pounds.
Wow.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you something. Now Brian knows this. A couple of years ago, remember when everything was closed down in spring of 2020? That was about a week and a half after I came home from cervical spinal surgery. Okay. So I'm home. I can't even go to physical therapy. Even the gym in my building at the time was closed. So I had to become very resourceful. And I will tell you that one of the things that I did was the frequencies. I've learned some very interesting methods of exercise that take no money, very little space, and not much time. Okay. I found ways everybody's going crazy because they can't find, Lysol or disinfecting wipes or anything. I found other ways to work around those. So and I'm looking at the scale, and I'm even posting pictures of it while I was on posting pictures on Facebook. I'm like, holy crud, did I just drop it took a few months, but I dropped 60 pounds.
That's a lot.
Okay.
That's
real
significant.
tangible results.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Pat I met years ago is totally different. This Pat is amazing. And I would say, he does. You're a black belt. You also do martial arts.
I'm a 3rd degree black belt in Hapkido. I am also a Sir Knight. Yes, I am a Catholic priest. Yes, I am a doctor.
Yes.
And all of this with, like I said, learning disabilities.
But, and the transformation of what, he was, because there's certain injuries there. And, and he's just really raised his everything, the vibration, his own frequency to do some great things. The healing that he does. I've witnessed it firsthand. Chris and Craig, if you ever come up to New Jersey, you'll witness it firsthand too. But only Chris will be able to go into the inner room.
Well,
Yes,
I will
sir.
tell you that even before the ordination, before those bishops laid hands on me and passed that very something special to me, I was always good as a healer. The frequencies made me a better healer. Friend of mine. Yeah, geez, one time I go and I give last rites to somebody, and they're thinking about pulling the plug on her, and my friend comes to me the next day. He goes, "Oh, by the way, she regained consciousness." I'm like, "Oh, you got to be kidding! No, she's sitting up.
Wow.
She's there." So,
this is like one of many. One of many with him. He goes to give last rites, and there are many, and they're healed. And I mean, I don't know if the church is paying attention, but sainthood is, there's certain.
Oh no! Too much of my life before I was ordained. No.
Satan. Hold on. The patron saint of Captain America.
Hey, just remember Saul.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like
he was. There you go. Yeah.
The patron.
The Captain Puerto Rico shield.
Exactly. Isn't it great?
I love that. I love that meme. It's like when you realize that Captain America is wearing the Puerto Rican flag, and it's actually Captain Puerto Rico.
Damn it, man! Damn it!
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I was real quick. Like as we're getting there, I was one more thing about bone healing, because I know a few people that have like some that they're looking at having procedures done like on backs, because of discs breaking down. Have you ever heard, anecdotally, whatever? I mean, not officially, anybody that's seen like a reversal in that stuff through these frequencies, or is it just basically when you get to a certain point, there's really not much that can be done?
I've never, it's never ceased to amaze me how much the frequencies can do. So put on a 432 hertz, let them listen to it for a little bit every day. And, hey, lots of prayer. Okay. Cause I will tell you that, and not to make this a religious revival, I don't push my beliefs on other people, but, sometimes all you have to do is ask.
Yep.
And yes, April is right.
Yep.
I think one of those things too, just, kind of like to get on that side where a lot of people like push religion. I think there's a difference between demanding that you observe something and realizing that, like, most people don't realize, they seem to forget a lot of these things have very common overlaps and factors. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, there are very common themes. It's like the Bible, they call the 10 Commandments, but most modern religions have the same general, rules to live life by.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people they lose that part there. Where like, if you're not a Christian, you're going to hell. You're doing all this stuff, and I think that's the people that they really need to step back and realize that, because as we talked about before the show and through this, I'm more on the agnostic side, but I'm actually, the more I've been this way, I actually feel more spiritual. Like I feel more connected. Like I said, I don't know what, like myself, truly, I can't tell you what the creator is and what I just believe that there was a higher power that created this. I don't think it just happened by chance, but I don't feel that I have to believe in the Judeo-Christian thing to feel, connected to, everything around. And I think that's a lot of people that they're too caught up in the dogma aspect over just the part of the universe.
A good friend of mine who happens to be of the Jewish faith reminded me of a Bible passage. My Father's house has many mansions.
Yep.
Take with that as you will.
And what role does beardoism play in this, Craig?
Oh, yeah. Did he ever tell you about that?
No, I never told him about it. But
oh my God, I've always said it's just
Father Batman involved in this one.
The fastest way to riches is to create your own religion. Yes. And so just as a joke, we started beardoism. I'm like, I've been slowly working on it. Like all the tenets, like when you cut the beard, there's a sacred procedure on how you were to dispose of the beard hairs. You can't just throw them away. There has to be a ceremonial fire, so there's these things, and it's those type of things, and you realize,
or not.
Yeah, I always use the Life of Brian from Monty Python as the prime example of religions. Do we follow the shoe or do we follow the gourd? Or are we like the lonely man, as when he looks up and everybody has left following the shoe or the gourd, and he's like, let us just pray. And I'm like, that's the guy that people need to pay attention to. The guy that's just like, commune with, pray.
Just pray.
Oh, you mean like, believe it or not, the IRS recognizes the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster for tax deductions. And if you really are in the mood to make up a religion, hey, let's go with Scientology.
I call them the Clearwater Crazies, just to avoid the lawsuits.
Yes.
Okay, Clearwater Crazies.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, and exactly what Brian said, and it was funny because last year, only a couple of days after my ordination, I'm at a barbecue, and I'm sitting down with friends, denominations of Christian, there's Jewish, and there was a wonderful gentleman who his holy book is the Bhagavad Gita. And, we sat around and had a beautiful conversation, and it was just no condemnation. We're learning from each other. As a matter of fact, one friend is sending me a Bhagavad Gita. Another friend already gave me a copy of the book of the Church of Latter-day Saints. He's a minister. So, it's like, you're right. We have so much to learn from each other, and we have so much in common.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. And what book did we bring out? Is the Beardo?
The only thing I don't have yet is like.
Nice.
Actually, I have I said I actually have a collection of this. I said I got several works. I don't have. When I was starting to collect these things, I had to really be careful. That was not the time to Amazon to pick up the Hadith and the Quran. Was right after, something happened. That was not the time to be, doing, internet searches and ordering those books. So I've still got to do it. But I just like having these books here because it's one of those things. I've always just said, if you can't articulate another position, it's really hard for you to deal in absolutes. Saying this is what it is, because you haven't done your research.
Yeah.
And
so that's why I like having this thing. So see,
where are Americans infidels?
Yeah, but this is a novel. Let me tell you.
M.A. Allen. I don't think he has any cosplay pictures, but who knows? It's a great question, but no cosplay right now.
Hey, DA, how are you, man?
Well,
yeah, That's really good. I mean, like I said, I'm really glad that we were able to, especially touch on those parts, especially getting your perspective on. It's not so much like how it used to be, where the church is just really anti, you know, natural healing, because it's just, I think there's been a real softening of that stance on those aspects. Because because just the crystals and stuff. I mean, where are you on tarot?
Ooh.
Okay, I will tell you wholeheartedly. My lady friend reads tarot. So, hi, Christine. Okay.
Very well, actually.
She reads and
Really
she's
well.
phenomenal at it. Okay, so one Sunday I'm putting a homily together, and I'm talking about the talents that that God gives everybody different talents. Okay, some are healers, some speak in tongues, some are seers. Okay, so the devil doesn't give gifts. Okay, God gives gifts. Devil gives trouble. Devil gives temptation. So for the people that say it goes against the church, how do we know God doesn't give people that talent to see? And by the way, it's a lot of fun having friends that are remote viewers. They tell me when I lose stuff.
It helps.
Yeah. See, so why? And this has been one of the biggest questions. Like I said, as a rep, why do you think that a lot of people that practice, especially like on the Christianity side, view this as acts of Satan, devil worship, when you engage in these things? Because I'm like, I can see if it's used in a black arts way, where you're using it, to cause harm and stuff, that there's a problem. But like you said, if Brian helps you find your car keys that's been lost for the weekend, since you can't find them, and he's able to tell you, it's like, hey, look in the dish behind you right now, that looks like a giant pistol mortar set, use check there. I think the keys might be in there. Oh my god, that's where they're. That doesn't seem anything remotely demonic.
Well, the thing, and like as I see it, okay, at least the Roman Catholic Church, it's about power. Constantine was all about power. All right, and there are a lot of things that were taken out of the church. I mean, okay, about originally there was no Christianity. It was a sect of Judaism, and then we had Christianity separate, and it's what has been referred to as the ancient faith. Okay, it was just one Christian faith, and then there was something called the Great Schism. Okay, so a big split. We had Eastern Orthodox, Western Orthodox, and Roman Catholic. All right, fine. But when that happened, some things were taken out. For example, 14 books that we know of were taken out of the Bible. Up until a certain point in time, the church believed in reincarnation, and the church believed in the divine masculine as well as the divine feminine. Okay, there's a place I go to over here, just over the border in Pennsylvania. It's based on 4th century Christianity, and there are 2 altars, one to the divine masculine, one to the divine feminine. So a lot of things had changed. Okay, so maybe it was about so maybe there were people in the church that were seers in days gone by, and maybe there were people that were healers. I mean, I'm practicing some meditation exercises that supposedly were practiced by Christian monks centuries ago. Well, apparently the religions don't communicate with each other as well as they used to. The different faiths communicate with each other as well as they used to. Okay, maybe Christian monks were learning things from Buddhist monks. Okay, so things evolve. People sometimes people just want power. They want control. Okay, so I don't know.
Divide and conquer, right? So if you have the
Right.
Tibetan monks talking to the Christian monks, and they're working on certain things that are Eastern and Western, when it's getting big and people are following it. No, we can't have that. Can't have that. A
Well,
lot of
even
religions keep women to one side and men to the other side.
even
Keep
if you think
women
about it
outside.
too, since Halloween is coming
Okay.
up, let's take a look at the notion of the black cat. How that's, oh my gosh, they're evil. Well, the church wanted the gypsies to become part of the Roman Catholic Church, okay? And they were farmers by trade. So what do? Okay, you basically need to get rid of all the little vermin that are eating your crops. What's one way to do that? Have a cat. So you demonize the cats. So you either ostracize people from society, or their crops get eaten up. What do? They have to change their lifestyle. They have to change their life. So
because like
it be out of control.
here's the like this is one.
Loki, Hayden, and Odin. What three great names to be.
Yeah. So like this is some of what, like there's an example. This is one I know somebody shared, and this is a lot of stuff you see. And I commented on this post. That looks like an incomplete list of what Solomon was into.
Well, I saw the list that also include veganism.
Yeah, it's one of those when you see those, you're like, I don't understand, because, and this is kind of the thing where, in a way, what I was getting to is where, why do you feel like there's still, with everything, why there's still this thinking that all of this stuff is absolutely abhorrent,
Well,
that if you touch this, you can't be Christian.
If it's about control, it could be about something like like I say, these give power to individuals, to people. So they're harder to control that way. And by the way, you do realize there's an astronomy lab in the Vatican. They have an astronomer as part of the Pope's staff.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
so.
I mean, it's named Lucifer.
Yeah.
The light bringer.
Funny thing is, there's not really a mention of like Lucifer, the light bringer, like Lucifer in the Bible. And I wonder, how that really, developed.
Well, I think it's the acronym for it, but I think it's, like I said, it's actually spells out Lucifer. If I'm not mistaken, that let me know in the chat if I got that wrong.
Who named it? Bishop Carl. What happened to him? Let's just say he was burnt at the stake.
But it is a shame that the church is often a lot about control rather than salvation.
Oh, it's control and money. And sorry, I'm going to say it.
It's why do Roman Catholic priests not get married? Because if they had a wife and children, a lot of that collection basket would never make it to, the Vatican, because they have to raise their family.
I would solve that. I think anybody who's a priest should be allowed to get married to anyone who's a sister or a nun. That's it. The Bible does say, "Be fruitful and multiply." You can't do that solo. Okay, so it crack a lacking.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I think also, when you get into the fact that God creates man in his image, and I'm using man as a universal term. I do not want to get into a he said, she said crap. I mean, grow up. But part of making man in his image is bestowing upon his children certain abilities. And the ability of your third eye and connecting to source God and then channeling these things. You don't need to go to a soothsayer, or a gypsy or whatever. You have the gift yourself. I've talked about that numerous times with people. You can do this. Everybody can do it. But people are lazy. They need to go. Like, do you want to make your own video and watch it, your own movie, or do you want to go to YouTube and watch that 30-second cat video? You know, like I don't want to film my cat, but I'll watch 50 hours worth of cat video.
Oh, I know. It's like I got to do this thing, and next thing you know, you've wasted 35 minutes watching animal videos and everything else on
That Barney Rubble
TikTok or YouTube.
You know,
Yeah,
exactly.
but no, it's so definitely. Like I said, as we're running out of time here. I've got I shared on there for your channel the coffee and rosaries. I shared the link to that.
Much.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's for
And
anybody that's.
I agree with April that sexual activities also unlocked energies. Hence, we won't play the end orgasm sound. Maybe we will. We'll play the orgasm sound again.
Yeah, and
Sexual activity is good.
I know for a fact you gained a subscriber tonight, so
Yes,
I do know that. How I know? Because I subscribed. So
there you go, and it's really, really great.
So there.
Oh, you got the picture with the baby Yoda.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go. Yes.
Yep.
You know, just because you don a collar doesn't mean
Never underestimate.
Here, we'll mute it so that way you don't have him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can.
We'll get the baby Yoda in there in a second.
There it is. That's awesome. Yep. So yeah,
Craig
definitely
is
go check.
Uber Star Wars geek, and I sent him this whole thing on all the details about the Millennium Falcon the other day, which you probably knew anyhow.
Oh yeah. It's if you watch the show or anything, I've panned a couple of things. I've got a huge Star Wars collection behind the camera over there. Yeah, lightsabers everywhere. It's
Thanks, DA. And April.
Yeah. Yep. So perfect. Like I said, you just got you're picking up a couple of subscribers, so that's good. Success right there. Yeah. No, it's but definitely that. Let us know when you get that list. That. What's the Excel spreadsheet? Is that what we're going for there? Spreadsheet. Yeah, when you get that done, because that's definitely that would really be a really nice handy list. I mean, I forgot to ask this before the show, and I apologize. Do you have a website?
Unfortunately, I don't. All I have is just the YouTube channel for now, but that's for the homilies. When the book is closer to finishing. I will open up a Facebook channel for that.
Okay. Yeah. Let us know. Like I said, we'll get that shared too.
Helping doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. See.
Yes. Get wild now. Okay. Well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Real quick. Yeah. April. Yeah. Definitely. We'll have to figure out a time for that. That'd be fun.
Yes.
But yeah, it's so. Yeah, I've got a lot because especially like that frequency. I'm really interested in trying that one out, especially for myself because. Like Ron was talking about, I actually drink a cup of coffee before bed every night.
Well, you and I, like I said, coffee works differently on us because we're attention deficit. I'm going to go have a great big cup of coffee before I conk out, and it puts me to sleep.
You guys are
everybody else is like, how do you go to sleep? I'm like, oh no, I fall right asleep. I'll drink it, I'll lay there and I'll try to do it. And then my wife will tell me because all of a sudden the phone will hit me in the head. So I'm sitting here trying to do something, all of a sudden just wow. Just because I fall asleep. It just knocks me out. And so she's just like, put it down, go to sleep. And that's, some people are like, coffee. It's like, oh my God, it'd be a cracked out squirrel, before you go to sleep. And I'm like, no, I'm the other way. I could actually feel myself just starting to doze off so it has that reverse effect. I don't know. So I'm glad to have a sympathetic. So,
yep.
Yeah, it's Pat, it's been a real pleasure getting to meet you and have you on. So I hope, like I said, hope you had a good time. That's just with our craziness. It's like, hey, if you're good friends with you, if you're good friends with Brian, you had to be prepared.
I was really good this episode.
Yeah, he's not.
Brian was good.
He's not a choir boy, so he's got. He might have been at one point. I don't know. I've only known him in the later years.
It could be the hands-free orgasm beat that we're playing right now. That maybe that's why I was really good, or I'm just gonna get jazzed up. Who knows? But
yeah,
Hansel is a beast.
I get hairy, woolly beast. Yeah, I need to trim this wild animal in this face here. But yeah, that's the other thing too. Anybody knows we're looking for a beard oil sponsor. You know, that the perfect sponsorship. And I said, I've got a new company, Lit Beard Company. I just started using their beard oil. It's pretty good.
Is that the one? That's not the Sasquatch one, is it?
Nope, there's a new. They actually right up my alley. They have Metallica themed beard oil. They had
Metallica themed
one,
beard oil.
and yeah, Orion was their latest flavor.
Sweet.
As Austin would always call it, the flavor of beard oil.
The
Like,
flavor.
we'd always tell them, it's like, you're not supposed to eat it. You're supposed to put it on your face.
Not a flavor.
Yeah. It says apple and stuff. You're not supposed to taste test it. You're just supposed to put it on your beard. So it looks like Brian froze.
I did freeze.
Yeah, there he goes. There he is. I was talking. All of a sudden he just had a real serious expression. I'm like, I lost him.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably gonna.
No. So last words, Dr. Pat. What word of wisdom do you want for everybody as we part?
Learn, study, explore natural medicine. You could only benefit from it.
I actually like that. I'm actually right.
That's a good one.
Say that again one more time for everybody. This sinks in.
Learn and study natural medicine. You will be better for it.
There we go.
I really enjoyed the show, my brother. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it too,
I
even though I'm black screen now.
Well, you black.
Yeah,
You're black.
I really appreciate it too. As I'm just shutting down, I'm leaving the show already. What we did see is he was just like, this is just a subtle. It's like the George Costanza thing from Seinfeld. He got his one liner in, and it's like, good night, and he just walks away. Brian just starts shutting everything down. Yeah, that's
Lord have mercy.
all right, sir. Well, thanks again for there. So I've been letting this. What do you want? Do you want a UFO abducted cows, or do you want lightning? How would you like to go out, sir?
Oh, UFO abducted cows all the way.
All right, here we go. So everybody, like I said, go to Coffee and Rosaries. Go there, subscribe, follow this man. Thank you for being on there. Really appreciate it, sir. Dr. Pat Cuntrera. Thank you, sir, and have a great night.